Hello everyone, my name is Chris Woodman, and my design career started at Lakeland Community College. So going through school, I always had a passion for art and technology, and so I combined both of those and decided to study, well, that went pretty quick, study graphic design. So I've worked for multiple design companies in freelancing, and I've designed a lot. So I designed business cards, I designed postcards, brochures, posters, presentations, websites, and a whole lot more. One of my favorite jobs was actually working for a company called Before and After Magazine. And what I did for them was I actually helped them create design articles that would actually teach people how to design. It's very challenging, but also very rewarding. And so after doing a lot of design work, I decided to go into a new adventure. And so I applied to work at Apple, and they actually hired me on to be a trainer where I would actually help people learn how to use their iPhones, iPads, and computers. And when they hired me on, I had no prior teaching experience, but they actually shipped me out to California for 1 week. And during that 1 week at Apple's main headquarters, they actually trained me on how to actually teach people. So with all of the training that I had in hand, basically Apple had me, during my time there, not only teach people one-on-one, but also organize and teach workshops. So I would teach the consumer and business workshops, and here's a photo of me teaching HDR photography to 17 people. So throughout my time at Apple, I worked there for 6 years, and then I ended up at Eaton Apple. And Apple decided they no longer needed trainers, so I felt that my time there was over. I decided to leave Apple and then go back into the freelance business. So freelancing has been something I've been doing since I left Apple, and I've worked for a lot of different companies. So I've worked for technology companies, woodworking companies, architects, engineers, landscapers, and artists. But there's one company right now that I love working for, and that is Buckeye Relief. Buckeye Relief is a medical marijuana company located in Eastlake, Ohio. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking this, and no, I do not get free samples. But what I do for Buckeye Relief is I actually help them design their packaging for their product line. And when I'm not doing their packaging, I'm also helping them with designing graphics for social media, doing stuff for brochures. I also help them with their website and other various projects. Now, when I'm not doing graphic design, one of my favorite hobbies is practicing and performing magic. I find it absolutely fascinating how many tricks you can do with a deck of cards. So I was inspired to get into magic by watching this TV show, and it was a TV show called David Blaine's Street Magic. As I was watching David perform magic on the streets, I saw people reacting. They were screaming, smiling, and just freaking out. And I was actually intrigued by what I was seeing, and so I was like, that looks like fun, I want to try that out. I've been doing it ever since. So recently, I actually created my own card trick called Dexterity, and not to brag, but I think it's a pretty cool effect. What happens is you take the cards out of the box, I show that they're in numerical order, I put them back in the box, give it a shake, take them out, and the cards are instantly shuffled. So my friend said, now that you're a real magician, you should be legit. You have to have your own deck of playing cards. So I agreed, and so I wanted to create an icon that was my initials, CW, and this is the final result after 3 weeks of work. And not only did I design playing cards, but I also wanted to create t-shirts to match my cards. So on the left is the back design of my playing cards, and on the right is a shirt that I came up with to match the design of the cards. And so the word gets around that I do magic, and so next week, I will actually be teaching 2 magic camps for the Willoughby Hills Library and the Lake Ridge Academy School, where I will be teaching kids tricks with cards, everyday objects, and also the art of performance. And then about a few weeks ago, I saw on Instagram that David Blaine said he was actually going to be teaching magic for the first time only through a 30-day online magic class. So I signed up immediately because I always think, even though you think you know a lot, you can always learn more. I'm only about 1/3 of the way through, and my magic skills have skyrocketed. Now, Harry Houdini is probably one of the greatest magicians ever known, and David Blaine loved Houdini. And Houdini once said, "What the eyes see and the ears hear, the mind believes." And that's the one thing to remember, is that magic is it's basically a mind game. So the human brain. The human brain is the most complex object in the universe, but yet it is so easy to fool. So as humans, we actually have shortcomings in our brain. We make false assumptions, we get overconfident, and we're easily influenced. And I'm going to show you a couple of tricks here momentarily that will actually show you how magic exploits the brain's deficiencies. And so, before I get to that, I want you to ask yourself one question, which is up on the wall right now. So I ask you, do you think you can't be fooled? Well, I want you to read the words on the wall one more time, but slower. How many of you notice that the word you is in there 2 times? So that's just an example of how magic can actually work against you. It's as magicians, when we do perform tricks, we are using your brain against you, but it's all normal. All right, well, what I would like to do now is actually kind of show you guys a trick, but actually have everyone participate, if that's okay. See here. And to do this, though, I actually need to put the microphone down. Do we have, let's see here. Well, I need to put the microphone down to do this. There we go, okay. I just wanted to roll off the table there. Okay. So I'd like to try something with you all. It's kind of like a puzzle. So what I want you all to do is go ahead and just put your arms out and just do this with your fingers, okay? Now, go ahead and turn your hands sideways so your thumbs are down and your pinkies are up, all right? Now, take one of your hands and put it over the other. So right above left or left above right does not matter. Now, take your hands and interlock your fingers like so, and do not let go. Whatever you do, do not let go. So now, go ahead and wiggle your pinkies. Okay? Now go ahead and wiggle your thumbs. Now, wiggle your right middle finger. Okay? Yep, you got it. Yep, right there. You got it. Yep, other side. Yep, you got it. Okay, very good. So now again, wiggle your pinkies, wiggle your thumbs, and now on the count of 3, do this. 1, 2, 3. Pretty weird, right? So that was actually a trick using what's called physical and mental misdirection. So basically, I just had you fool yourselves. I was using your brain against you. So I can't teach you how that trick is done, but I'll basically just let you replay that trick in your head, and some of you might be able to figure out how that was done. So, one thing about magic, though, is that card tricks are basically like my specialty. That's like my passion. And so Spike has allowed me to actually take time after my talk to perform a card trick. And so I would actually like to perform a card trick to the audience. But for this to work, I actually need a volunteer. Who here has actually never seen a card trick before? So everyone's seen, okay? Who here has never assisted in a card trick before? Okay, well, only one hand went up, okay. Would you like to help out with this, or? Okay, come on up. So can anybody guess what I'm holding in my hands? Yeah, right, deck of cards. But to me, this is much more than just a deck of cards. This is a tool that I like to use to amaze and entertain people. And I'm going to show you an example of that right now. So what I'm going to do is, I kind of need like a table, so I'm going to use this speaker here to help me out with this. If you don't mind, I'm going to just stand right over here for me. And you said your name is Stephanie? Yes. All right, nice to meet you. So I have a card trick that I want to perform. And it's going to involve you picking a card, okay? Now, I couldn't even pick a card the typical way, which means that I would just scan out the cards like so, and then you would just reach in and pick a card, right? Pick a card at me. But you or the audience may think that somehow I'm making you pick a certain card. So we're not going to do that. We're going to do things a little bit differently, okay? So what I want to do is I want to verify with you that all the cards are messed up, they're mixed up, random order. You agree? Okay. It might be kind of hard for some of you to see this, but all the cards are mixed up, okay? So now again, the trick I'm about to perform, I'm hoping amazes you. But if you are amazed, I want you to be amazed for the right reasons. So that goes for the rest of you. Because what I don't want is at the end of this trick that you might say, wow, that was some really impressive sleight of hand. Now, for those of you who don't know, sleight of hand is the ability magicians have to manipulate cards without the spectator seeing. Okay? So to prove that I'm not using sleight of hand to rule it out, I'm going to perform this trick using only one hand. So I'm going to take my right hand and put it in my pocket. Okay? So now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to have you pick your card by playing the deck. Okay? Now, what I mean by that is that you're going to take a portion of the cards, pick them up, and then set them off to the side. Okay? Now, the thing is, I want you to cut the deck wholly for your choice. Okay? So, when you go to cut the deck, you can cut a small portion, like 1/3. You can cut near like at that holy point, or you can cut like 3/4 of the way down. Cut anywhere you want. So, whenever you feel like it, go ahead and cut the deck. Perfect. All right. So that's the card that you cut. All right. Now, here's the important part: is that I only want you to know what that card is. So, in order for me, the audience, not to see what that card is, I'm going to just peel the card off the top, and you're going to get a quick peek at the corner of it to see what it is. Okay. All right. So now, again, I'm doing this trick with one hand. All right. So here we go. Go like this. That's the card you cut to. I'm going to go ahead and look away, and she did not the bottom card, but the card that's sticking out. Got it?
Yep.
Very good. Perfect. Okay. All right. So now comes the difficult part. You and I need to lock eyes here. Okay? I'm going to try to read your eyes. Keep a poker face, giving you nothing.
Okay, that's my sense.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Okay. So I'm going to start. Oh, no, it's a red card. No? Okay. Well, actually, this is actually not going the way that I planned, but that's my fault, not yours. So, and this is actually even worse because I mentioned being recorded. So, tell you what, I'm going to have to ditch this trick. It didn't actually go down as I planned.
Okay.
It goes fine. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do is, if you allow me to redeem myself, Spike says I'm allowed to do magic during intermission. So what I'll do is I will scrap this trick, and I'll actually try doing some tricks during intermission. That's okay. Okay? That's good? All right. Well, thank you for bearing with me.